As the final buzzer sounded on the Pistons' 2023 season, two die-hard fans, Mickey and Harry, each passed out and witnessed a vision. They were visited by Detroit's very own mascot, Hooper, the stallion ablaze, who told them the only way the Pistons would ever win a championship again was if these two men started a podcast. To be clear, they said, do we really have to do this? I mean, aren't there enough Pistons podcasts already? It seems like this might be overkill. But Hooper dunked on them, right in their face, and said, your team needs you. He presented them with a prophecy. Now it is their duty to help Detroit rise again and become champions. The Order of the Blazing Horse.
Hey.
Welcome back to another brand spanking new episode of The Order of the Blazing Horse, your only Detroit Pistons podcast based on a mystical prophecy. I am one of those prophets, touched by a horse, not in a creepy way, but in a very consensual, ethereal way. If you were Harry Morrow's out in Ypsilanti, Chris Hammond, what up, Sally? Let's go, OOBH. And this time I'm also joined in Ypsilanti by my co-host, my co-prof. He's the boss.
I'm Mickey Jacobs. Glad to be here in Ypsilanti. Had a little bit of a oopsie of a game, didn't we?
Oh, man. Kind of a drag. The Pistons win streak snapped 13 straight. Didn't quite make the 14 straight. Still tied the franchise record, but drop one, 117 to 114.
Lost a cup game.
Yeah.
Damn it.
The cup is no longer within our grasp, which is a travesty. Travesty or tragedy? Tragedy. Is there a difference?
It's both.
It's both.
I would argue it's both.
It's both Vesti and Jetty?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Vesti and Jetty.
Vesti and Jetty. That's kind of the
It's
team.
like a buddy cop movie.
Hollywood.
Hollywood, baby.
We're still in the business.
Listen.
We're still here.
Listen.
We might be covering Detroit, but we we live right here, right now. The game was crazy for a ton of reasons. One, because the floor was insane, dude. I will make sure to get some key highlights out of that.
Yeah, key away. I feel like the green really represents how the 3-point shooting and the turnovers are Pistons' kryptonite.
Oh
that
my
green
God.
kryptonite.
Oh my God, the green that Boston is saving with the Derek White contract.
Oh, he's so good. I hate it.
Unconscious. I can I tell how many times we watched the game together, and as this is the second time that we've watched the game together, and this is the second loss that they've had.
Maybe we should stop doing this.
We can't do this anymore.
This one's on us, guys. This is our bad.
But the amount of times Mickey's like, oh, I want Derek White on our team so bad. And he would fit because this game just showed that having a second scoring option who can play defense and who can hit the three really helps out your team.
And pass. He's a 3-and-D point guard. He's the perfect backcourt mate. But why would they trade him?
Yeah, it's neither.
Why would they do it?
It was a lot. And we got a lot from Cade. Cade put up 43 points, 42 points. Sorry, not quite 43. Thanks to a missed free throw at the end there. He had
Costly.
Had a chance to tie it up. Mickey, how do you feel about this fouling so you get 2 instead of 3 at the end in basketball right now?
I mean, it's like I understand the strategy, but it's like just sluggish. Like it just drags things out and not in like a fun overtimey kind of way. But I mean, like that ain't changing. Like the foul game is a thing, but it's a real good way to make 2 minutes last 20.
My Lord.
It's really.
Yeah, I was.
How do you feel?
I hate it. Like I just hate the way it slows down at the end. I'm happy that we got 3 free throws out of it because it looked like he was in shooting motion. It looked like he was going for it, like he knew it was coming. That's how you make teams pay. Unfortunately, didn't make the teams pay enough. TABH cursed as 16 Wolverines.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's been going.
I've heard about this. I've heard about this, but
I got burned when I on Blue Sky called Cade Cunningham super clutch in the last game, and then whatever.
You and your skeeting.
I gotta get my skeets under control here.
You really do.
But overall, like there's still a lot to like from this game. The Celtics shot nearly 50% from 3.
made 20 threes. Derek White was out of his mind. Jaylen Brown scored a ton of points in general. Everybody was scoring for them. And it took 20 threes to take down the Pistons. Pistons only hit 11 of 36. They shot 39% from the floor, 30% from three, missed 7 free throws. All that.
39-30 is bad.
It's bad. But it still came down to the final possession.
I know, but I think that this is like this game, like this, Boston aren't even like everyone who's been critical of the Pistons winning streak has said, well, they haven't really gone up against that many good teams. And I don't think that's true, and I think we beat Houston, we beat the Hawks, we beat
Orlando soundly. We beat Boston earlier.
But I do think that Boston isn't even like in the top tier of teams, and the problem was always that this 3-point percentage and the turnovers and the lack of perimeter defense isn't sustainable. And I think this game was like case in point of that.
Yeah. On the plus side, there were only 13 turnovers. I mean, granted, some of the turnovers were costly, but I do think this team's doing a better job of holding on to the ball. And again, I mean, like if a team's shooting 50% from three and they put up and they shoot almost 53s in that game, that's a lot to overcome. That's the big complaint about the Pistons offense. They don't shoot a lot of threes. So
right.
You're going to get boat raced in some of these games. They didn't quite get boat raced. It was just the concerns that people have about this team are not just glaring. And Chris Hammond brings up Philly twice. He says that's half true in his opinion. So what's we had? Derek White had terrible numbers before this game. Now Steph Curry. He's had a couple heater games, but for the most part, yeah, it's not been the ideal season for him in this new showcased role.
I feel like he's a Pistons killer a little bit too. I feel like he's one of them ones.
Yeah. But I mean, let's shout out Cade. Cade had a truly great. Yeah. I mean, missed free throw aside, he still had 10 points in that fourth quarter. He ended up with 42 points on 10 of 26. That's efficient.
Couple stocks.
4 of 9, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. How many turnovers we got here? Four turnovers. Although one of them was like kind of.
2 of them were really, really bad.
2 of them were really bad. We will say that he had 2 really bad turnovers. One was like a weird-ish one. JB sticks with his guys, and I love that, but he's got to do a better job when they're getting hunted. I thought Duncan really hurt us in the second half.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson, let's take a look at his stats on this game. 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover. He was getting hunted a lot, but in all honesty, I don't think he was the worst. The biggest cause for concern in this game is defense didn't even have like the worst outcome to me. It looked a lot. My cause of concern in this game is no one could score outside of Cade. Like straight up.
Yeah.
We have 11, 12, 12 from 11 from Duncan on sub 50% shooting, 12 from Harris on 50% shooting, 12 from Dern on 4 of 10, which is bad, like straight up bad. He had 16 rebounds with 12 points, but that's like
not for a big. You can't be going 6 for 10.
And bro,
and it's all around the rim.
What was going on with the ball?
Bad hands tonight.
So sloppy. That was my big problem with this game. Was the bigs were not handling the ball well. I know the paint was collapsed, but this is a game that Dern and Stu should have absolutely dominated. You don't have bigs. I mean, it was Luka Garza on the other squad.
Yeah, what are you afraid of? If you can just like bully Wendell Carter Jr., you can't conquer the Garzilla. We've got some really solid points coming in through the chat. Offense was sluggish. 114 points with Cade having 42. Long rotation is messing up the flow. Whispers, that's a couple mediocre JD games in a row. I agree. No stocks for JD.
Back-to-back nights.
Are we regressing to the mean a little bit? Is this some soft shit? Is this? I also agree the offense was sluggish. I feel like there's a lot of standing around. As Harry will tell you, I am pretty Danis-pilled these days.
Oh my God, it's out of control.
The last couple games, I've been really jonesing for. That's my DJ. I've been really just feeling like when Cade's off the floor, or even when he's on the floor, I miss the way he breaks down the defense because I feel like no one can do that now. And I'm like, look, Tobias was pretty reliable in the mid range. He went 4 of 8 from the field, even though he went 1 for 5 from 3.
Hit the big one.
He hit some big ones, but yeah, huge. But it's just the process doesn't feel great to me. Even Duncan, who's been shooting the ball really well, the process by which he gets his shots feels frustrating for me. And I know I'm still like used to the Malik Beasley, like just the way he comes around a screen and pops and just like trigger happy, like really ready to get it off. And like I do think Duncan is better like in the mid range and around the rim when he's not dunking. But I just feel like he's really hesitant, and there was a lot of like wonky extra passing tonight, just like a lot of like little too unselfish at times.
In a game against Boston or against teams that are going to be shooting the three that much, the two things I wish they'd done better were, one, and we'll get to this part later, but like I wish they just fed the bigs inside as opposed to have the bigs driving inside, because like you said, when the ball was down low, they're getting swatted away. But if you get it deep in there and you're already bodying them up, you have your mismatches. I mean, JD had Jaylen Brown mismatched several times and didn't amount to shit. The other problem that I had going back to the three ball was they're just not taking the open looks because it feels like maybe someone might get there. But when you're playing a team that's shooting so many threes, when you have the open look, you have to take it.
Yeah.
Like, again, we made 11 3-pointers this game. That's not enough. It's really not enough. And on a day where Cade hit 4, like, if he hits 4 3-pointers, that's been like his
We
problem.
should win. We should just win if Cade hits 4 3-pointers. 4 of 9, like that's solid, like shooting 44. What happened to Stu's 3-pointers? He's, I think, our third best shooter. I mean, unless you count Dennis, and I actually kind of don't because it's such a small sample size.
Right.
Even though he's my GOAT.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we're not really utilizing Stu in that way anymore. And like tonight was a night where I also feel like the spacing has been bad the last couple games. I feel like the paint is really clogged.
Super
I
packed.
think Cade had to force it a couple times, both because nobody else was really doing much. But I just think when Cade drives in, I mean, really when anybody drives into like multiple defenders and forces up a contested shot, like it's sick when it falls, but when it doesn't, it looks terrible.
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt the Pistons to take more threes. It wouldn't hurt the Pistons to have guys who can make more threes. I'm not sure what Harris's 3-point percentage on the season is, but I know it's not.
It's like 34
It's
at
not,
best.
It's not great,
Yeah.
right? And like Dern's not taking him. Asar made the best 3 of his career in this game. That was pretty cool.
That was amazing.
To take the lead at half from pretty.
That
deep.
wasn't a 3. That was a 4. That was crazy.
He shot 1 for 3 from 3 in this game. 1 for 2 from 3 in this game. He's shooting over 30% from 3, just not in a lot of volume. So that's
Very
something.
low volume.
But let's talk about some good stuff again
Yeah.
in this game. Like Cade Cunningham is just. He's a fucking guy. Like, he's so massive. He's such a beast, such a bruiser. It's great to have. We can wax poetic about him all day. Asar's defense is disgusting.
Really, really
like,
good.
Straight up disgusting.
What did he?
Logo Asar for sure.
2 stocks. I think Ron looked really good tonight.
Yo, let's talk a little bit about Ron Holland II with the Pred Dreads. The Pred Dreads?
Yeah, I like him.
How do you feel about that? I know you liked it. Tell me what you like about that match.
Defensively everywhere, and just being aggressive, like figuring out where to get his shots. Like I feel like he's one of those guys where there aren't plays drawn up for Ron, but like his just like natural fight and aggression is where he's gonna just like find opportunities for himself, and I think he did a really good job of that. No 3-pointers, unfortunately. He's under 30% now on the season, which is tough, but always good for a couple steals a game. Like I don't do like betting like that, but if I did, I think like the over on 1.5 for Ron
It's up.
that's big money right there.
Over the last 9 games, he's 9 games, including this one, he's averaging 2 steals a game.
Yeah.
And that's in very few minutes. Like he played 14 minutes tonight. Last game he played 11 minutes. He's not putting up a ton, and like everyone's upset about him. They're like, oh, sophomore slump, offense is way down. The defense has been great, like truly great, and sometimes game-changing. And I don't know if the offense is like bad. It just seems like he doesn't have the confidence in doing it. I think part of that is because they want so much out of him. It's like, you got to improve your defense. You got to be more defensively aware. You got to think about passing the ball a little bit. You got to know what your role is. And when so many people on this team have these roles, and like Richard DM for it way earlier said, the long rotation is messing up the flow. you got to fit into what other people are doing and try to help out other players and whatnot. It's not like he's just going out there going wild like he was in Summer League because he's not the guy. I wish JB told him more like, hey, just go out there and be the guy, because I think he has the ability to do that. We've seen some wild finishes from Ron. We've seen some great
You wanted him to
slashes.
go coast to coast tonight, didn't you?
I did. I super did. He dished one off, and I was like, just fucking take it to the rack.
Yeah.
Man, it's...
Too much passing.
Yeah. And, like, I get it. I like that he's passing, but also I want that offense to just blow up.
We want him to be that psycho that we know he can be. When he goes psycho mode, good things happen for the most part.
It's very nice.
Even in the last game, just like wrenching the ball out of people's hands multiple times that resulted in Pistons basketball, just so good.
Mm-hmm. You know what's so good is if you like and subscribe to this podcast.
Bam, snuck it in there on you. We are so close to triple digits. We want it so bad.
We're at 98. We're
on.
thankful for you guys.
Yeah.
On the whole. So, you know, if you can get in there, tell your friends, get people into it. We have fun on the show. We try to get good guests on here. We'll have like a pretty big guest, I think, on December 11th, if I remember correctly. So that should be pretty fun. And, you know, we play games. We have the overreactor. I shipped out so much money for that overreactor.
Yeah.
I have to sleep in the office. That's why I'm up here right now, because I spent...
Harry's gonna put a mortgage on the house. He's got a second. Yeah, he's going into debt for it. But it's fun. It's fun to play with sometimes.
I mean, I dig it. I super dig it. Do you want to delve into a little bit about this long rotation? How you feel about it? We only saw 11 guys tonight. We've seen 12. We've seen damn near 13. I think we saw 13. I think overall, what we can pull from it is that Chaz Lanier is essentially out.
Yeah.
He's out of the rotation.
Yeah.
Right now.
Pending injury or foul trouble or whatever.
B-Ball Paul, probably the 12th man in the rotation.
Yep.
He's in case of foul trouble or injury at this point. So he's kind of out of the rotation as well. But we're still at 11. And the guys near the bottom of that rotation are your boy, that's your DJ, go DJ to the bench day, Danis Jenkins, and Javonte Green. And then the other two that are like light on the minutes in that general area are Jaden Ivey and Ron Holland. So you have two young guys, two high draft picks hovering around that area. One's getting back from injury. And then you have Javonte, who's been really good for us. Danis has been really good for us. And everybody else seems to be pretty solidified in that rotation. Chet, how do you feel about that as far as like the thinning of the rotation goes? What do you want to see in the future? And Mickey, what do you want to see out of it? Let's talk a little bit about Danis specifically, because I know you're with it.
Yeah, well, I just like regarding the 11, 12 man rotation or whatever it is we've been doing. It was 11 tonight, right?
It was 11 tonight.
It was 11 tonight, but it looked really good during the Bucks game. But everything looks good when you're shooting 60-50 splits. But I don't know. That was a game where just like it was like a band where everybody like knew when to solo and like go get theirs and just like nobody could miss. But in nights like tonight, and I think part of like what Ron has been struggling with a little bit is that like a little bit of like role fluidity, you know, where it's like I don't really know exactly like what they want from me. Like I know I'm a disruptor and just like a chaos agent, but like really like what my role on this team is a little confusing. I think guys like, you know, Danis and Green just like make the most of their minutes for the. I mean, neither of them scored tonight, but they didn't have a lot of minutes, and I think like especially with Ivy coming back, we're gonna have to pare down a little bit, and I do think it's messed with the rhythm in the last couple games. The Indy game was scary, and it felt like disjointed.
Yeah,
it did. We never really got into a good rhythm. Yeah, I do think minutes are gonna have to come down, and like some guys are gonna fall out of the rotation. I don't want one of those guys to be Danis.
Yeah, I get it as well. And like, I'm with you because Danis has been so good and so important, and he showed he can step up. The reason I'm okay with it, one is he's got so many games that he can play before signing a regular contract, so maybe you don't have to play him all those games. Two, he showed that he can just come off the bench anytime, and he's ready already. We don't need like a ramp up period for him. So like, there's that. Three, we're not paying him any money at this point. So like I almost feel bad that he's playing these games making $85,000.
Yeah,
you know, like that's not a lot of money.
No,
for an NBA player, and like he's been good. Javonte, it makes sense to me that he's like kind of falling out because it's like between him and Ron, right? And like they're pretty similar as far as what they do, but Ron is somebody who you can see a higher ceiling with, and Javonte is somebody who's steady at this point and not. They're both reliable in their own way. Ivy, it makes sense. He's ramping up minutes wise. He's got the minutes restriction, and we got to see what he's going to be like. Wasn't the best night for him tonight. 0-5 from 3, 2 of 9 overall, 4 rebounds. The dude can offensive rebound, and he can rebound pretty well. So you kind of forget about that.
Nice block.
He did have got covered as a steal, but it was a nice block. I honestly thought the defense wasn't so bad today. Like it looked all right. Here's my proposal for the rotation, Mickey. Instead of doing these 11-man rotations, why not sit some guys some days, do like a 9-man rotation or 10-man rotation one day, and then the next game you have a different set of rotation.
I think that might be a better use of guy in general. Like I wouldn't mind if Ivy rests a game. I wouldn't mind if Danis doesn't play a game. Because like at least then it's like Chris Hammond asks. Like, how do we feel about Danis playing 7 minutes and getting 0 shot attempts? The ball just didn't land with him, or was he getting a little cardio tonight? I think some of those minutes were with Cade, too, and I think it's more the former. Like, I also thought he played solid defense. I forget who he was guarding, but was it Pritchard, or he had some really good contests that like stuff that doesn't show up on the box score. But I'm not just trying to like paint him as the greatest of all time.
The Detroit
but you're like your idea of like just like DNPs sometimes, like I mean probably less so for Ivy because he's ramping up. Right. But I think that makes sense. It reminds me not to hark to a really terrible time, but like when like there would be stretches where like Hami Diallo would play and then Josh Jackson would play, but it would be either or because it was sort of like, well, we're not going to play both these guys in a given night. But I think like process-wise, that makes sense.
I mean, it's the same thing. I see a 12-man rotation, and I get Monty flashbacks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and like I get the value of playing 12 guys, and like if they all have the role and they all deserve minutes, yes, that's true. But like if people aren't able to get into a flow and you don't feel comfortable with your rhythm in the game, that's harming you. And it's kind of looked like that the last couple of games. They don't look like the same functional team that they had leading up into this. And granted, winning 13 in a row is insane. It's like, it's truly tremendous. And I'm thankful for that. I celebrate
It's really
that.
Cool.
But like, let these guys get a lot of minutes in a single game and then move on to the next. And I do want to space them out because so many injuries have been happening. So if you can utilize your rotation that way, great. But there's no reason to like force it out you don't have to play your full hand every game necessarily.
Right. And it almost is like to your point about like Danis getting 7 minutes. And I felt like this sometimes when Ron's minutes were down, or maybe he's been getting like around 14, but when he gets like 9, like I feel like Ron needs a little time to get into a rhythm or to like get comfortable. And I think that's a really good point. Like I think it might be better if it's just like some guy's night and sometimes it's not. Like I think we could survive games without Karis LeVert sometimes. Like,
for sure.
Like
play Danis instead of Karis.
I think that's actually the one you would swap, just to be like, let's see if this Danis shit is real. Because like I could be freaking out about a very small sample size, but I am freaking out a little bit because I just think and by the way, Karis has been really good. Although, 3 of 8 from the field, but he went 2 of 4 from 3.
Hit a big one as well.
But no stocks day. But like
defense still looked good.
It looked well, not against Derek White, but no.
Yeah,
but what can you do against Derek White, man? What can you fucking do? And he's just like needs no space and just like.
I mean, it doesn't help that Jaylen Brown was also hot. He got hot. I mean, he didn't have the best shooting game, I don't think. Actually, let me check.
No, but he got to his spots and he
hit some big ones.
He hit some buckets.
12 of 32. That's not like a super efficient game or anything. 2 of 7 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. But he had 10 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah, they were all scoring though, and that's what's hard is that like it was just Cade and like not everyone else. And like I'm not saying he should have passed more because guys weren't knocking shit down, and like he's usually good for like 5 more assists just from Duren alone, and Duren just couldn't do it. I really think like Duren shot the bed tonight,
dude. It was a straight up bad game. He looked bad. I know like 16 rebounds is a lot and 12 points is like nothing to sneeze at, but 4 of 10's not good. Like he had 3 turnovers. It honestly could have been more, like very easily could have been more.
He got a foul was called that like could have just as easily not been.
Right. I mean, it could have been a travel.
Right.
And like, at the same time, like the defense, the one time where Brown burned him at the end of the game near the end of the game when it was tied, burns him from the perimeter. Duran fouls him. He makes the bucket and gets the free throw.
If you're gonna foul him, don't let him get the bucket. That's Detroit 101, man. That is no layups.
Right. So it's just tough. And I believe in Duran. I know he can move past this, and he showed that he's been better than this. It's just I feel like in neither Boston game did he really take over, which maybe that's just good strategy by Boston. Maybe it's something I'm not like picking up on. I'm not like a basketball X's and O's savant or anything, or even like that good at that whole thing. But the trend I noticed against Boston, he's not killing him the way you'd expect him to kill a team that does not have great bigs or really any.
I fully thought that he was going to feast.
Yeah.
And just like the way, like I said, he's been bullying other bigs and just deciding you can't guard me. But I think part of this was just like the paint was clogged tonight because we're not hitting shit. And like you kick out to an open Asar and he won't shoot.
Yeah.
And you kick out to an open Ron and he won't shoot. And you kick out to an open Duncan and he passes to an open Asar for no reason.
Insane.
And it's just bad communication and like the togetherness, which is like besides like right up there with the defense, like the team's best quality.
Yes.
Just feels, and the rhythm feels off. Maybe it's the 12-man thing.
I really think it is a 12-man thing.
I think it probably is.
I just think it's too many players. I think there's too much going on. Too many people like not wanting to overstep their overstep their role when they're getting this opportunity. But also, if that's the case, then no one's stepping up. No one's being aggressive, and that's a bummer. The big question, as like things are approaching that a lot of analysts are talking about, a lot of fanalists are talking about, is like.
I like that.
Thank you. That's essentially what we.
I know that. Right? Yeah, certainly. Armchair.
Analysts, yeah. The big question is like, do the Pistons need to make a move? Should they make a move? And we're seeing names like Anthony Davis, which why Can we just really quick say that makes absolutely no sense? 1, for availability, 2, for positional value, and 3, for return. It's insane to me. Other names that have come up have been like the MPJ. People want MPJ, but like culturally, no. Effort-wise, no. And like I know his contract's not that much. The pitch I saw in All City All NBA today was Tobias Harris, Paul Reed, and a first for MPJ, and they're like, I don't know if they'd want that Detroit first. They got to get a better first. That's already too much for me. Like I know Tobias hasn't been great.
I just don't want him.
Right.
I just don't want him at all. But like, can I answer your question?
Yeah.
Because I think that a move is necessary, but I don't think it needs to be I think like what we're seeing with this 12-man rotation thing is like, it's not a big swing that like fucks our cap sheet and like, like costs, like sends us over an apron or anything. I just think we have to consolidate some talent because like Marcus Sasser still exists.
We haven't even
that's still a guy on this team. Like Bobby Clintman has a roster spot, and he's not even a like break glass guy really.
Right.
He's like barely garbage minutes, and like I don't know. I think we need to like we got a little bit of a logjam at the guard position. I want to see more from Danis. Like Sasser, unfortunately, right now feels like trade fodder because Karras is sort of like a Swiss Army knife. Which might be Ivy. What might be Ivy?
Who might be the? Is that the number 3 option perimeter shooter who plays defense? Richard DM4T. That's who he brought up. And I believe poo-pooing the AED with the let's get an old injured guy that takes up 2 core guy salaries. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make any sense in that regard. And then Chris says all reports on Tobias are that he's critical for the culture if we move him, and maybe we should.
Yes.
It has to be for someone who isn't culture negative, and that's why no Miles Bridges, no Michael Porter Jr. Like that, it just doesn't make sense to do that. Chris also says he does think that Ivy gets moved. Unfortunately, his salary is useful in a trade, and he's just had bad luck. I mean, there's a chance. But let's also remember that Ivy's stats last year were nearly 18 points a game on 41% from 3 with 4 rebounds, 4 assists. That's pretty good. That's pretty friggin' solid for a player who's making what $10 million this year and who you can negotiate, you're essentially getting his rights, his bird rights when you trade for him, and you have him for unrestricted or you have him for restricted free agency. And then the question is, what contract? If you're going for a big player, what contract do you include? Is it Karras with his like 13 million? Is it Duncan with those, or does Karras have 16, something like that? It's Duncan with his contract, or is it Tobias with his contract? And if it's those two players, then you're giving away, two starters. Who's going to fill that role? What are the players you're going to go after? What do you actually need on this team? People have been throwing Frank, my man. Sorry to dox you like that. Absinthe 42 heard Trey Murphy's name thrown in the mix. We're all about that.
Big Trey Murphy fans. Health aside, just would be like in a Derek White kind of way. He's not as good a defender, but he's a better shooter probably. Like on aggregate, I don't know actually. Derek White this season he's not been good, but I love Trey Murphy. I think he would be so good next to Cade.
He's also big.
He's huge.
Yeah.
I like.
And it's a Troy Weaver connection on top of that, because Troy Weaver reportedly is running the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, so Chris brings up a point that I really think, like, Harry and I spend a ton of time, like, dreaming up these, like, potential trades. And, like, Tobias being essential to the culture, like, you hear that a lot. And, like, to the point where, like, I will be bummed if Tobias is our starting for next season. But starting for next season. I don't think he should remain the starting for into next season, but I think he is very important. Like, he's been here the whole time. Like, the rise has happened, and we don't have a lot of like consistent vets. Like, he's the only vet from that period, and like, yeah, by all accounts, beloved in the locker room, and like is fine. Like, and he's really solid defensively, generally speaking. The Ivy thing, I agree. It's like really unfortunate timing, and I also just think like, unless the defense, and by the way, he didn't have, we've talked about Tobias coming off the bench on a cheaper contract. Like, he would feast off of other teams' benches. And even now his contract isn't like bad. I know people said it was, but it's like what, 23 mil.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But he's putting up 12 points. Like, it's not the greatest. Like,
he's got that unk move.
But it's just a lot of ISO.
Yeah.
It's a lot of turnaround midi fades and but I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say is I think he's a keeper.
Yeah.
Like,
he's also
I would be surprised.
A stylish young man.
He is a stylish young man. He's younger than me. But
got me beat by a decade.
But no, I think Ivy might be trade. So I don't think we're gonna move off of Tobias just because he's expiring, unless like someone else became available for less than I think they will become available for. But I think the Ivy thing is like, he's got some time to prove, like, can you defend? Can you shoot in a reliable way? Because, like, he's still coming back. We're going to give it time. We're going to give it sample size. But my issue with Ivy isn't that, like, he can't score or whatever. It's that he just, like, still has never really, like, grasped, like, control of his game. And, like, I just see Danis, like, who's young and hungry. And I'm not saying I want Danis to start at the 2, but I am saying, like, Danis feels like a backup point guard of the future, potentially. Like an AJ Mitchell, or like a little bit of a like that kind of role. Maybe not as good on the defensive end, but like pretty good on the defense. Pretty solid end. Like, and just a 3-level scorer who plays in control, breaks down defenses, and is like not a shooting guard that we're forcing to be a point guard, which you could say of Sasser and to a lesser degree Ivy. I mean, Ivy's played a lot of point guard in his young career, but
they want him to.
They want him to.
Yeah.
But, and he had a couple nice passes. Did he have any assists in this game? He didn't. But was it in the Pacers game? He had a couple dimes. Some good kickouts. Because he breaks down the defense too. But yeah, he's just a little out of control. And like, you know who else is a little out of control? Ron. You know who else is a little out of control?
Asar.
You know who else is a little out of control?
Duran.
Yeah. So, you know, like a guy who's like we can trust with the ball in his hands, who can set things up. I mean, even Karras is a little out of control at times, and like that's still like kind of a shooting guard that we're like, you can run the point though, right? Or you can play. So, yeah, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm kind of with you on it, and like part of the problem with Danis not getting these minutes is now we don't get to see like what an expanded backup point guard role really looks like for him. And it's just unfortunate, like this rise is happening at the exact same time that Jaden Ivey's coming back, and you have to feed Jaden Ivey these minutes because you have to see if he works next to Cade and if he can be a backup point guard or if he has trade value or like what the situation with him is here as a whole. And the Chris says that he thinks he's a really good NBA player. If JD were able to average 20 and 10 and we have Asar to pay, it just gets tough with his injury history. The thing is like,
Ivy's injury history?
Yeah, maybe it's TM3. Is his injury history?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, let us know because if it is, like the salary's only $30 million, so it's not like he's on a good deal. Like,
that would be in regards to because that's in the chat. Yeah.
No matter what, the Pistons need to get a second star, like a second,
just a second scorer, like 20 north of 20 points, really, like, and a person who like. With gravity,
right?
Like, because Ivy put up numbers, but like I don't know if he quite like drew the gravity we need. I don't know if everyone's like, oh, closing out on him,
right,
in the corner or whatever. Like I just still don't think he's like established like that.
He could be that, but even if he becomes that, then you have to pay him.
Well, and you've got timeline things to deal with because obviously Cade's there. Like. I do think the sooner we get Cade a co-pilot, the better. And I don't think that co-pilot needs to be a like 5-time All-Star necessarily, but like I do think like that person needs to be a reliable bucket getter with gravity who's like hopefully not a cone.
Yeah. Absinthe 42 says it'll be interesting how they use Ivy if they are indeed looking to trade him. I would think they would want to want him to shine for maximum value, and that's exactly
what Harry's saying here,
right?
Yeah.
Like. You have to see how good he is, not just for
we have
you.
to see anyway, yeah.
But for the market as well, so other teams can like get a nibble on it.
It's really good against the Pacers,
right? So you have to get these minutes from him to see how it's going to go. Plus, you invested in him already; he's already on your team. You want if one way or the other, you have to see how it's going to pan out. It doesn't matter. And if we're talking about getting a player on this team, it's almost a player who plays his role a little bit in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you'd want. Ideally, be somebody who can play D and can shoot the three. But it's just somebody who's got to reliably be able to score a lot of points. And hopefully it's not going to cost you a lot. I mean, hopefully potentially whatever trades are happening might not be huge, like give up a lot to get some back because people might not just be buying that high.
Yeah.
Because the contract costs are like such a hindrance at this point that you can't invest too much. And that's why if you don't play defense, you're not getting paid because they can't afford to just pay you to play offense.
Yeah.
So, like, who knows? Who knows what the returns are for some of these players? I mean, there's rumors for a player. He's not going to end up on our team, but a rumor for a player that we both like is Keon Ellis is that he might warrant a first-round pick. Meanwhile, guys like Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine and what's his
DeMar
their value is like squat. You know, and then you hear stuff.
Dennis Schroeder, yeah.
It's like
they're all Westbrook. They're all of it. Everyone's available except Keegan Murray and
Nick Clifford.
Yeah,
right. But then, like when you're talking about AD and his value, it's not high. Like no one's giving up a lot to get. In the mock trades.
Yeah, because the contract is an albatross and he's never healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the like to trade him to Chicago would taking on Patrick Williams' contract, and Patrick Williams' contract fucking sucks. So it's like, what are you even getting out of it? It's just, when it comes to trading these players, I think likely what's going to happen for Detroit is we'll see where this Ivy situation goes. And then if a big trade happens for Detroit, it's going to contain Ivy and either Karras or Harris. An Eris. It's going to contain an Eris.
It's got to have an Eris.
Got to have an Eris. Yeah. Eris je t'aime. Someone else je t'aime. But like, it's going to contain, if a big trade happens, it'll probably contain them, and then we'll see what it might be. A player that none of us are even talking about. It probably will be a player that none of us are even talking about.
Yeah.
Because how often does it happen that the trade that everyone's talking about happens? Didn't happen to us last year.
You know, it did happen with Tobias Harris.
But that was a signing.
That was a signing.
So like signings make sense,
yeah.
but like
overall, trades are usually a little left field.
But this team does need a secondary scorer, and I think Jalen Duren over these last couple of games is proving that he can't necessarily be that guy because you can't just go to him in a pinch. And it's not like he can just take the ball and do whatever with it. He kind of needs Cade to get it to him or a point guard to get it to him and to do something. And he's not burning people off the bounce that consistently yet. It might get there. It just doesn't look like it's going to be there. He's going to be a part of this team for the future. Like, there's no doubt about it. The dude's a stud. And he's still putting up all-star numbers. Like, 12 and 16 in a bad game is
Totally.
good.
Totally.
That's better than the season averages were last year.
And he bounces back. And I also just want to, like, bright side it a little bit because I think, like, the streak was awesome. Let's, like, not get, like, so greedy. Like, even though literally in his post-game, JB was like, well, I want us to be greedier in fourth quarters and not take our foot off the gas. But, like, no, I mean, we should be greedy. And you know what else we should be greedy about is subscribers. Because if all of you in this chat right now subscribe, if all of you watching right now subscribe, I think we'll crack 100. So, give me those, give me that. Give me, just click it. But
you're not going to tell anybody we housed your subscriptions, are you?
But no, I think going into Thanksgiving, like, give these guys a little L to think about. Like, let him like stew in it for a little bit. Beef stew in this while he's eating.
Humble. We still have 2 fewer losses than anybody else in the Eastern Conference.
We're still number 1 in the East. I just think we gotta, like, I think everyone's gotta, like, just take a beat, assess, and just, like, figure out how we come back and, like, don't lose momentum, because, like, you don't want to be the story where it's like, oh yeah, like the Bulls, you know, where they started hot and then then they really regressed.
Then they became the Bulls.
Yeah.
So we're gonna close up the show, like, a little bit shorter, but I mean, I want you in the chat to do this too. Mickey, I got to ask you, with this Pistons team, what's something you're thankful for?
Oh my God, so many things. I'm thankful for Stu's blocks.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I'm thankful for Ron wrenching the ball out of people's hands. I'm thankful for Cade just being, like, the poised stud leader we need. I'm thankful for the togetherness. I'm thankful that they play, like, with an ethic that embodies the city.
Oh yeah.
Thankful for you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
My co-prop.
Whoa.
Thankful for that. Thankful for y'all in the chat, because I know you've subscribed. I know you've subscribed, like I just asked. But no, this is a joy, man. Like, this is so much fun. Like, you know,
thankful for George
Blah, the legend, man.
And Comey, don't forget Comey.
50th season, unbelievable. Cade said they're going to give him a special one, and I would say that
they have so
they
far.
certainly have delivered thus far. And we got a really amazing team. I think, like, we were the best story in the NBA last year. I think we're poised to be the best story in the NBA this year, and just so fun to watch every night.
It's been an absolute joy. I am thankful to watch games and not just wait for the Pistons to blow them. Like, it's such a change from a couple of years ago. It's so great. I am thankful to have this community to talk to about it as well, to be on Blue Sky, to be on YouTube, to be, you know, subscribers to text with, not to watch games live together with anymore.
Never again.
Never again. It'll happen again.
We'll probably do it again. And we'll probably take an L for it, but it's fine. It's part of
we got to take these L's.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the Pistons social media team. In all honesty, I think
ass.
I think they're great. Like, there was this story on Instagram. Did you see the one I sent you where they were showing the little dog, and there was
named after all the
players.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that, go on Instagram, watch that clip. It's
Shout out admin. Funny. They're very funny.
Chris Hammond said, thanks, guys. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. See you next time. We'll see you next time, too. Chris, you're always so great in the
Real
chat.
one.
Christopher, do you want me to go full name? Let me know. I like to give people their appropriate names.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the most dunkingest team in the NBA, because that fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Like, it truly rocks. I'm thankful that our star player is a good leader, a good dad, a good role model, is funny, and plays offense and defense, is good at literally every facet of the game. Like, what more could you ask for? And I'm thankful for JB Bickerstaff being our coach.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the smoothest Trajan Langdon being in our front office. My God, what a guy. And I'm happy for, like, the whole Pistons, like, content making community. You know, everybody involved. I love Kofi being involved. I love Pistons Jack being involved. The Pistons Pulse, of course.
Tommy Herr, baby.
Yeah, baby. Tom Herr.
Korea Pistons fan.
The Pin Down, Downtown Dews. Vince Goodwill, or
Hell yeah. Well,
so like plenty of people. I know I left people out. If I left you out, Business Talk people is on there as well. I'm sure I'm missing tons out there. But like I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for this community. I'm thankful for the good vibes, and again, I'm thankful to have been touched by a horse. in a very consensual way.
yeah,
I must say,
above board. I can't stress that enough. Like, yes, he came to us in the middle of the night, in a dream, and touched us. But it's fine.
above
it's
board,
fine.
below PJs.
Yeah.
Well,
Over the PJs. Over the PJs.
Well, but I didn't ask him to hoof it or anything, so
There you go.
We're good.
There you go.
So once again, thanks so much for joining us on the show on the special Mickey and Harry in the same location live edition.
Crazy stuff.
We're sorry you had to see the loss, but I mean it was a fun game. That's one thing we were saying.
It was a fun game.
Like that's fun, exciting basketball
In Boston. I mean, fuck Boston. But in Boston, like it's good. It's good to like get smacked in the face by like an evil franchise every so often.
Smacked in the face and lose by 3 in the final seconds of the game.
It hurt. It hurt.
It did, yeah.
It stung. And I know that stupid missed free throw is going to be circulating on Bleacher Report and House of Highlights, and Cade can think about it or not think about it, and just really like start fresh in a couple days. I will be at the game on Friday.
So if you're at the game, look for Mickey.
I'll be wearing this jacket.
Shoot us a skeet. Find him.
Well,
you're gonna wear the jacket?
I'm gonna wear it, of course.
It looks good.
Thank you.
I am also thankful for your style, your apparel.
Thank you, man.
Great apparel.
It might be a women's jacket, but it fits my waif-like proportions.
Who cares?
Yeah,
I
don't
wear
care.
the.
I'm rocking that shit.
I have plenty of women's athletic shoes because I think the colors look fucking sick.
There you go.
They're a little bit tight at the feet. I have to admit,
A little
they're not
slim.
my favorite.
It hurts, but
it does. Yeah, but it looks good though.
You suffer for fashion.
Yeah, I had the shocks in gold with the rose, and that was like a little bit tight on the feet.
Little tight.
A little tight on the feet. Rocking the Sabrina ones now though. Those are hot. We'll get those Cade Cunninghams when they come out in 18 months. Don't tell my wife; she doesn't even know, but it will happen. So we'll see you guys next week, and maybe we'll try to get a guest on next week, I think. And once again, we're gonna close the show the same way we always do, which is by saying the acronym out loud, OOBH, because that's how a horse would talk anyway.
That's exactly how they would talk.
And we know firsthand.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah.
So I've been Harry.
And I'm Mickey.